Steel Serpent is here. Now this character is not meant to be flashy. He's here to quietly ruin the other team's day. If you're expecting an Iron Fist clone, you're sorely mistaken, although this character does indeed bring back some old school martial art hero nostalgia that we can't wait to see. Let's go ahead and check this character out. As we look at this character's abilities, we don't see anything here that really strongly stands out. We got a decent health rating, a decent armor and focus rating, but there's nothing here ability-wise that says this dude is amazing. He has a relatively low speed stat of 107, so how are we going to get the most out of this character? Again, it has to do with this kit. We want to pay attention, in this case, to the ISO 8 choice. We're going to go with Striker. We want Steel Serpent to continuously be able to lean in and attack as much as possible. It has to do again with this kit. We're going to see more details on that in just a second. But just keep in mind, the point here is to try to get this individual to attack as many times as possible. Steel Serpent is the engine for the team, so everything really hinges on his passive ability, the Way of the Serpent. Now, notice what it says. On Immortal Weapon ally turn, gain assist now. So that means on any Immortal Weapon ally's attack, they will call Steel Serpent in for the assist. Now, if he's attacking into somebody with slow, right? He likes to attack into slow. So if he's attacking into somebody with slow, it reduces the primary target of that attack speed bar by 5%. So when he's called in for an assist, when he's called in for that skirmisher striker combo, every time he hits somebody, he's reducing their speed bar by 5%. Now, what's also important is we take a look at the second part of the passive. It says if this character has 3 or more Immortal Weapon allies, then the self and Immortal Weapon allies cannot have their speed bar reduced. So what we have here is a Steel Serpent stopping your team from getting their speed bar being manipulated. And we gotta remember too that Lady Bullseye stops the opponent's team speed bar from being manipulated. So just by default, this team is able to keep control of the opponents. Let's take a look and see exactly what makes this character so amazing. We have his ultimate ability, Venomous Fists. It says clear barrier from all enemies and then transfer all positive effects from an Iron Fist ally to self. That's something to keep a pin in. Iron Fist, we're going to be taking his abilities to strengthen ourselves for this attack. This attack will gain 10% damage per positive effect, and since we've been putting other things on the opponents, we have 10% damage per negative effect on the opponent. We're going to attack our primary target for damage and apply 2 slow. On a kill, we're going to apply 3 slow to all enemies. And we need to be mindful that this attack cannot be dodged. We have 2 different scenarios we want to think about when using this move. Best case is right here. As we see, everybody has Safeguard. So we will be pulling the abilities from Iron Fist, except he has Safeguard, so he will be able to retain and keep his abilities after the attack is done. So we would still get the buffs, we would still get that extra damage, but we wouldn't be able to weaken our Iron Fist character, which is good, right? Which is good. See, at the end of the attack, Iron Fist up there still has all his buffs, and that's what we want to try to do if we can. Most of the time, we'll be leaning into our special, but we might have that opportunity to get a big KO using that ultimate move. It will strip the positive effects from our Iron Fist. So if we think we can really power things up to get a really big hit, a really big ultimate, knock a character out, slow the rest of the team down, a lot of time it's definitely worth that risk. So we see in this case, it is going to strip the speed up from Iron Fist. Again, that's only 1 buff. Now we're going to go after Gladiator here to try to get the KO. It's not a whole lot of buffs. If I had more, it would probably get the job done. It's just not enough damage, but we're just trying to illustrate when that time would be appropriate for you to use that ultimate ability. As we stated, in most cases, you're probably going to go ahead and use that special ability, Serpent Slam. It's going to attack your primary and adjacent targets for damage and flip all positive effects into negative effects and apply a slow. Most of the time I use it right in the middle of the opposing field to slow down the adjacent opponents that way, slow down one side of the field. It can also be used to really drill out one opponent that's a little bit stubborn if you think you can get them in one hit. His basic ability is called Steel Strikes, and for a basic, it does some pretty cool stuff. You're going to attack your primary target and put a slow on him. He's also going to chain to 2 more targets, dropping slow on those individuals as he goes along. If those people have offense down, defense down, and slow, right? If he has the big 3 that the Immortal Weapons are trying to drop on people anyway, then he's going to drop trauma in that wake. It's pretty awesome. The only downside is counterattack will indeed break the chain. He's got some really cool animations on this basic, really reminiscent of old school martial art movies, a lot of Bruce Lee influence. So I recommend you play around with that, see if you can find out some of those cool KO animations, some finishing move animations, and let me know what you think in the comments below. So yes, indeed, let's go ahead and get the conversation started. What do you think about Steel Serpent? Should you buy him? I mean, if you already got the other 4 characters, you need him to complete the set anyway. There's some bonuses for that. I'm going to be calling for him today. I think this team is amazing. I was so happy to get a chance to play with the Immortal Weapons, but I want to know what your thoughts are on the issue. Hey, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.